Hey y'all, it's your girl Wana and I'm back with another video, and this is a long awaited video, like oops. So I have not forgot about you guys. I've just been very booked and busy. Like I'm talking about, I open my calendars a month prior, so I'm usually booked out before the month is over. I'm really busy, really booked, so now I'm working on shortening my day so I can have a lot of time or enough time to YouTube and, you know, do other things, because I love YouTube and I love YouTubing. I love watching videos, all that. So when I make videos, I want to be energized and stuff, and most of the time when I'm done from work, I have no energy to do nothing. Like I'm doing 5-6 heads a day and I'm drained. Like I said, I didn't forget about y'all, but I do want to give YouTube my full undivided attention, so when I make videos I want to be up to par, you know. So today's video is gonna be 5 things about locks that you should know before starting or after starting, just in general. And ignore my face. Like in the last couple videos my face is a little slim. Now I don't put on a lot of weight and I'm working on that, so don't worry about it. Okay, so the first thing is foundation is key. And that's a very broad answer, I should say, because that can mean so many different things. But what I'm saying is foundation is key as far as how you start your locks. So you don't just want to sponge your way into, you know, your locks, because I know a lot of dudes sponge their hair and they end up free-forming. That's not really the way to go. And when you start locks, you want to start locks with the intention of keeping your locks. You don't want to have locks for a couple months or anything like that, you know what I mean? So you start your locks with a proper set foundation. You want to make sure you go to someone who actually knows what they're doing, because anyone could be like, oh yeah, I could put some twist in your hair and it'll lock up. But what people don't understand is that maintenance at the beginning stages is like the most important. Like I'm talking about retwist, washes, all that. It's important. So foundation is key. And you want to make sure you go to someone who knows what they're doing, and you want to make sure you start your locks properly. That's literally it. So parting matters. You don't want to just have your parts all over the place. You want to know, okay, do I want box parts? Do I want regular parts? They call it regular parts, they call it random parts. Random parts are like, okay, one here, one big here, one small here. Random parts is oval shaped parts, and a lot of people start that way because they want more of a natural look, and that's okay. A lot of people don't like the box parting because it's too like perfect. That I understand. I feel like I have combination, like I'm in between random and box, but I've been locked for a minute, so I love my parts, I love my locks, so that's it. Yeah, foundation is key. Make sure you go to someone who knows what they're doing to start your locks, because once they're set and once they're started, that's it. And you want a proper foundation. The second thing you should know is the method that you choose to start your locks with matters. So a lot of people come to me and they're like, oh my gosh, like I love how this one looks, you start my locks like that. And I always try to tell people, you don't want to just look at someone else's locks and be like, oh yeah, I want my locks to look just like that. One, you shouldn't compare your locks to anyone else's. Everyone's hair texture is different, everyone's hair density is different, all that, hair amount, all that. So the method you choose to start your locks with matters. It matters depending on your hair density, texture, all that. So don't say, oh, I want coils, so I'm gonna stick with that. If I think that you're better with 2-strand twists rather than comb coils, I'm gonna tell you, hey, I think your locks will lock better this way. And some people are like, oh, they're both the same. They're not the same thing. They're literally not the same thing. So if you're adamant on getting coils and I'm telling you, hey, I think you should start with this, I can't force you to do something, but I'm just letting you know this, you know, your locks will lock better this way. Also, make sure you start your locks with someone who also knows what they're talking about and they start your locks properly. That's something to keep in mind. So the third thing that you should know about locks is that your locks are never gonna be perfect. You can look at so many different people's locks. Oh my gosh, your locks this, your locks that. Like I get compliments on a regular and people are like, oh my gosh, your locks are so perfect. I love my hair and I adore it, but my locks aren't perfect. It doesn't matter how long you take to start, how many times you go over your parts, this and that, your locks are never gonna be perfect. Never. Like, it may look perfect, but they're not perfect. So that's just one thing to keep in mind. Your sizing, everything. You can start your parts like with the same size all the way around, but over time some may look bigger, or some may appear bigger, some may appear smaller than others. That's just how locks go. You know, your hair texture changes amongst your head, you know, whatever region. We all have different textures in our hair, so in the different textures, like I said, our locks may appear smaller or bigger, but it could be the same parting at the root, just different size. So that's just something to keep in mind. There's nothing wrong with it, and it's bound to happen. Okay, so another thing that you should know before starting your locks is that the size and fullness of your locks, or how they're gonna turn out, depends on the density, texture, and amount of hair that you have. You look at someone's locks and you're like, oh my gosh, like I want my locks to be exactly like theirs. Like I said previously, one, you shouldn't compare your locks to anyone else's. Off rip. So you say, okay, I want my locks to look like theirs. If you have really thin hair and you want like a full head of locks, like it really just depends. Like it's not saying it can't happen, but 9 out of 10, like you have to be realistic. So I don't make people feel uncomfortable with the condition of their hair and stuff like that, but I just try to make it realistic to them. Like, don't expect your hair to turn out like this if you want this or that. So like I have a lot of hair, so people always tell me, oh my gosh, you look like you have 120 locks. I want 120 locks. First of all, you don't. Because I have 85 locks, and sometimes I'm like, dang, I wish I had less, but I'm grateful that I have a lot of hair, and this is how my hair turned out to be. And people be like, oh yeah, I want this amount of locks like you. I'm like, my hair was started this way because of the amount of hair that I have and the density of my hair and my texture, all that. So I just try to get people to understand, like, your hair texture, your hair density, and the amount of hair that you have determines how your locks are going to turn out. So that goes back to like my lock extension video, instant locks, all that. I go based off of your hair, not what you want. So if I think that it's not good for you, I'm not gonna advise you to do it. But if you're adamant on it, then I can't stop you from getting something that you want, you know. I can only advise you and give you my honest opinion, and then we just go from there. But if you don't like the end results, then that's you. And I've been in that case before where I've told someone, I don't think you should start this way, and they're like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna this and that, I'm gonna love it, and they end up, oh, I should have listened to you. Like, I don't run my mouth for no reason. I run my mouth because I know what I'm talking about, but it's okay, it's cool. Past that. The last thing that you should know about locks before starting, or in general, is that less is more. I'm talking about, I can't even break that down anymore. Like, less is more. Less is more. Okay? I'm talking about less product, less doing, less styling, less everything. Less is more. The only thing I recommend people to do on a regular is mist your hair. Like 2 to 3 times a week at least. If you want to mist it every day, okay, but don't do too much, and make sure what you're using is light. So like a lot of people be like, oh, you have to use leave-in conditioner, you have to use this every day, you have to use that every day. You don't have to. Like, your locks will love you when you don't put all that crap in your hair. And then with less is more, and it doesn't cause buildup. So more is terrible. If you don't want buildup, use less product, because okay, you're using this oil, you're using that oil, you're mixing all these products together, that causes buildup. And when you first get locks, or you just have natural hair, you're thinking, okay, this product says that, that product says this says that, it's gonna work on my hair. But what you don't understand is, like, your hair has a mind of its own, and your hair will tell you when it's too much and when it's too little. So your hair will tell you when it needs this and when it needs that. Less is more, literally. You don't want buildup, don't be using all the extra stuff. Don't listen to a lot of these people telling you to do this and that. Like, your locks will flourish with little to nothing. Like, shampooing, conditioning, all that. And everyone's condition of their hair determines how I do it. I apply the same regimen to everyone, but in a different way. So if I see that your locks need a little more TLC, I'm gonna use this or I'm gonna use that, but I'm not gonna do it for everyone. If your locks are in great condition, I'm gonna do what I need to do this way, because you're either taking good care of your hair, obviously, because your hair is in great condition. But if you're not doing nothing to your hair, I'm gonna apply this or apply that, but I'm not gonna apply too much to where it's gonna leave your hair building up products, and we don't want that over here. So that's basically it for this video. 5 things you should know about locks, having locks, if you're getting locks, if you want locks. These are 5 things you should know and just take into consideration. Don't compare your journey to anyone else's. Your journey is your journey for a reason. Like when I started, I didn't really have anyone. I had one other person, other female, who had locks, and that was it. So we kind of had to learn everything on our own, but I wouldn't have had it any other way because I learned so much, and now I'm able to teach and educate you guys so your locks can flourish like mine. But anywho, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more. I'll definitely be posting more often, more content on the way, but hope you guys enjoyed, and make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Get your girl subscribers up because you're going up. And that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Bye.